Hey, how's it going, my friend? It's Cameron Malcolmson here. I'd like to welcome you to this week's edition of the Inner Circle. This week, we're going to be getting into something called webinars, and this is the middle of your value ladder and where you're going to make possibly the most amount of money the fastest way possible. So, I'll walk you through three different models and then I'll share with you all this here cool stuff on the Inner Circle this week. So, if you can see on my screen here, I'm just going to share basically what I share every single week. So the tonight's game plan is how do you oh let's see how does a webinar work? Okay. And this is what I'm going to share with you, kind of how a webinar works, kind of like the math behind it and why it works so well. Then we're going to look at the ultimate setup, and it's kind of like the three different ways that you could go ahead and promote something online for your digital ecosystem or your online limitless business. And really, I want to share with you a tool. So, if you can see on the screen here, there's a webinar tool which was one-time pricing, and it's going to unlock evergreen webinars. You're going to be able to have your own hosting, control your thank you pages. If you're looking for a webinar solution, you should head over to limitlessfuture.club/webinar tool, and you can check out the one-time pricing there. I just picked it up, and just to see, to see how it goes for me. But to be fair, I've used it a few times and it works pretty well. It's got a lot of different things going for it, and it's not just like this really expensive tool that you have to pay for every single month, which is it's kind of really good as well. And then I'm going to share with you the benefits. But at any point, whenever I'm sharing this with you, if you want to go ahead and get started with this webinar software and start to build your own webinar, I mean, this here tool, you're actually going to be able to build your landing pages. So you have a landing page to send people to build your webinar, to get people to register for your webinar. You're actually going to have the option to customize your thank you page. You're going to have the option to have your own hosted video. So if you want to host the video on that software, they'll host the video for you. Um, if you want to, let's say, do live webinars, you're going to be able to do live webinars, evergreen webinars, all this here cool stuff using this tool. And it's nothing, it's not going to break your bank or anything like that here. You're going to be able to get like that little snippet code and paste it into your existing websites if you want to control your landing page and all this cool stuff. That's why I really liked it and things like that. So that's just what, get that out of the way to make sure that you knew what the purpose of the inner circle this week was. Because I've been talking about these webinars and all the different ways I've been studying these webinars, and it wouldn't make sense. It would only make sense that we kind of maybe talked about a webinar software tool and things like this here. So basically, before we get started into the actual content of the inner circle this week, if you're brand new, my name's Cameron Malcolmson. I'm from Northern Ireland. I've been building this online business thing for like 3 years. I started from scratch with no experience, no business degree, and I didn't have a clue about what I was doing. I went through all these different business models from FBA and having all this stuff in my room to drop shipping and having to deal with crappy stuff from China, then to affiliate marketing and all about the place. So it wasn't until I actually decided this is what I wanted to do, and I planted my flag in the ground, and I just like said, "This is who I am. This is what I stand for." And what I really stand for is to help show you the way of a potential online, and ultimately give you a personal branded money site with uh, you know, your own personal branded money site that's going to help you and things like that. It's really your hub, and if you want to learn more about that, you should head over to limitlessmoneyhub.com and you'll be able to see me in a video over there. It's a new project that's just launched, and I'm thinking that we're going to move all my existing stuff over to that same place. So if you are interested, in having your own personal branded money site or even your own like hub, and where you have different places, I'm gonna share it with you here in a second. If you're interested in getting a website, check out limitlessmoneyhub.com. If you're just brand new and you don't have an email list, and you know you're just getting started and you kind of just want to see start doing things and not really have to spend a fortune or anything like that, then you should check out a free email software. If you go to cameronlimitless.com/convertkit, you'll be able to build your own email list. You'll be able to build a landing page that you can send people to and all this cool stuff. So, that being said, uh, let's just get into the training for tonight. And I'm just going to share the whiteboard. Hopefully, we're not going to be too long here. And then I'm going to share a couple of bonuses that I'm going to give you if you decide if you decide to purchase this webinar tool through limitlessfuture.club/webinar tool. You can see it, might be able to see it on the screen, but let's see. So, how does a webinar work? Let's see. Well, firstly, we want to kind of understand what a webinar is. What a webinar is like a virtual seminar slash event. Okay, just all it is. Now, if we look at the value ladder, okay, and it kind of goes like this, and you're going to have different products on your value ladder. Now, this could also be like your digital ecosystem. Now, basically, at the front of your value ladder, you've got free low ticket stuff. This could be like a tripwire offer. It's generally for the masses, and it could be a lead magnet, so you give away something for free or something that's like $7, $1, something like that. There, $27. It's low ticket stuff. Now, where a webinar fits in here is in the middle. And what's great about a webinar is that you can go ahead and make bigger ticket sales, and you can go ahead and take that to the masses as well. So ultimately, if you wanted to do a webinar and you felt like a webinar made sense for your business model, a webinar would be a great place to start. Now, what all is involved in a webinar? So let's just go to another page here. So basically, what you'll get inside this webinar software is you'll get your own front door, you'll get your own thank you page. Okay, so you don't need to get any other. You don't need another tool to be able to build a landing page. To build your tribe, email list, build list. So you're going to get this landing page, and this is where you can build an email list. Let's see. Oh, and if I just get this, see, that's it there. You build your email list, which is really good. Now, you also get the thank you page, okay? Like I said, this isn't a monthly thing, it's a one-time payment, and be this can help you to get your landing page up, your thank you page, and it's going to give you the webinar platform, which is the most important part, because even if you want to do this somewhere else, also you're actually going to get the email confirmations, all the email follow-ups are included in this here. Now I would recommend having your own custom ones because it's a lot better. But ultimately inside this, you're going to get a lot of other things as well. You get to see all your tracking, analytics. You can grab this here opt-in and paste it onto any third-party site that you might already have. So you can use like a little piece of code and you can paste that on there. But ultimately, this is what you can get with this webinar software. If you go to Limitless Future .club /webinar webinar tool. If you go to that link and you sign up for the one-time pricing, you'll be able to build out a webinar. Now, something cool that I want to share with you here is why a webinar works so great and why should you consider a webinar as your first point of entry into your online business. See, this is like your value ladder, and this could be like a lead funnel, a tripwire offer, things like this. These are the things that you're going to make low ticket sales on. Then these are more higher ticket stuff. Now, if we look at this webinar and we zoom in on the webinar here in the middle of your value ladder, basically how this works is, let's say we have a goal of 5,000 per month, and we are going to be selling on our webinar an affiliate offer. Okay, and that affiliate offer, actually, before we get into this, I'm actually going to share with you this. Now, basically, if we're going to be selling something online, there's really only kind of three ways to do it. Okay, we can send people to a sales page, just a straight sales page. Okay, and on the sales page, you're lucky if you get a 1% conversion rate. So for every 100 people you send to this sales page, you're lucky if this is level one. You're lucky if you get one person to buy. The next way to do this is, let's see, through kind of like level two way. And level two basically is where you have a marketing landing page. Okay, and this is kind of like um broken up into three parts. So you have the first part, which is like your opt-in page. You have the middle part, which is like the bridge page or pre-frame page, and then you have the sales page. And this is like a little marketing funnel. Okay, so this is more like a funnel. Okay, and marketing funnel works better than just sending people to a sales page. Okay, now works even better than a funnel? And this is still kind of like a funnel, but it's a type of funnel. This is just a very linear funnel where people opt in, they get a little pre-framer, and then they go to sales page. Level three is the webinar, and a webinar works really well. Okay, so reason why a webinar works really well is because instead of getting a 1% conversion rate sending people to a sales page, in a webinar environment, your conversions are higher. So you should be aiming for a 10% conversion rate. Okay. Now, keeping this in mind, that there's a lot of different ways that we could be promoting your product, passion, or idea online. We could go down the line of building a sales page or even just getting an affiliate product and just sending people straight to the sales page, which is a complete waste of time. We could start to get a little bit smarter, and then we could build like a little landing page, a little pre-frame page, and then pass people off to the product, which is going to get you better results because you're ultimately building a list and you're starting to, build yourself authority and credibility and things, I guess, you're going to see better results because people connect with people, and then people get to know, like, and trust you, and then they will end up purchasing the product via this way. Okay, even better is a webinar. And a webinar basically tells people who you are, why your product, would you like, why your product is such a great thing in an indirect type of way. It's not like you're talking about your product on the webinar until a certain point, but the build up to that helps people to believe that what you're selling can help them. Okay, and by the time you get to actually transition into the sale, people should be ready and being like, what is it? What do I get? Okay, and that's the idea you want. You want people to be pre-sold before they even get on the webinar. And that's all down to what we covered last week, which was your offer creation and all this type of stuff. Basically, out of these different methods you could use the sales page, funnel, or webinar. Webinar is going to convert for you a lot higher rate, and uh, it means that you're going to get sales sooner, potentially, with less traffic, and you're going to make more money too. So it makes total sense to look at a webinar this week. So let's say we'll go back to this example here. We've got a goal to make 5,000 a month. We've got an affiliate offer that's going to pay us $500 a commission, or even this could be your own product or offer, whatever it is. If it's your own offer, uh, or you're going to have your own offer, whether it's your affiliate product or your own product, whether it's your own product or not, but you're going to own the offer. That's really important. Now, in order to get the $5,000, and we're making $500 sales, basically we need 10 sales. 10 sales a month. And we're making 5 grand a month, which is really, really good. So if we break this down even more, let's say, like I said, we're aiming for a 10% conversion rate, and this is should be our goal on a webinar, is a 10% conversion rate. Okay. And we have a goal of a 50% show up rate. Okay. Now this is where it gets really, really cool. Hopefully I'm not losing you on these numbers here, and you kind of see where I'm leading with this here. But basically our goal is 5,000. We make $500 commission. So in order to get the 5,000 with $500 commissions, we need 10 sales at a 10% conversion rate with a 50% show up rate. This means that in order to get 10 sales, we need 30 people to watch the webinar. Okay. With a 50% show up rate, that actually means that only 50% of the people actually show up and actually watch the webinar. So that means we'll need to double that number. So let's say we get 60 people to register for the webinar. That means, let's see, we actually need to get 10 sales. We actually need to break that down. I done this math a little bit earlier, but basically 10 sales a month works out about 3 sales per week. 3 sales per week. Okay. And in order to get 3 sales a week, we need 30 people to watch the webinar. We need 60 people to register for the webinar. And let's say we work in 6 days a week. Okay. That means we need 10 registrants a day. Per day. And if these numbers work out, everybody's numbers is going to be slightly different. You might have a 80% non-show up rate, so you have to have more people show up. But eventually you won't have that goal to reach a 10% conversion rate, which is a solid webinar, and a 50% show up rate. If you can achieve this here, you know, let's just say, for example, then instead of 10 registrants a day, we're getting 20 registrants a day. Well, ultimately that'll double this, and that will go to 10,000 per month. Let's just say we're actually running heavy ads here, and we've got a webinar that's got high converting landing page, and we've got people like registering for it through paid ads. Like, let's just say, for example, we double that again. So let's say we get 40 people a day, and that's not even far out there, but that's 20K per month. Okay. This is just from a webinar. And even let's just say we found an even better affiliate offer that was paying us $1,000 a commission. Well, this doubles again to 40, okay, a month. And this is just getting 40 people to register per day, 6 days a week. Okay, half of them people show up. You close 10% of them. That there is ultimately going to work out at like, you know, 40,000 per month. Hopefully I don't confuse you here, but this is where we're going with this. And this is why it's so cool. But really, let me see. If we doubled that, so that would be 120, and then that would be 240. And then we doubled that, which would be 60, 120. Okay, and then we doubled that, which would be 6, and then that would be 12. So here's even, let me see, so that would be 40 sales a month. So let's just say 6 days a week, we're getting 40 people registered a day for the webinar. That's 240 people registered for the webinar per week. Only half of them people show up, so about 120 people show up the webinar. You close 10% of them people. That's 12 sales, which works out about 40 sales a month. And your affiliate offer is paying you $1,000 commission. That means you made 40 grand that month. How crazy is that? People work all year to make that. Okay. Here's a plan on how you can make that in a month. Crazy. Now, let's just scale it down again to 10 people a day, which works out at 60 people a week. Only 3 sales. Let me see. It's only 30 people show up. That's only 3 sales a week, uh, which works out at 10, just over 10 sales a month. And you're only selling a $500 commission product. There, you're making 5 grand a month. So let's just keep this in mind. Okay. Now, what I want to do for you before we wrap things up here is I have got webinar slide templates already, like, they're not pre-written, but they have got a lot of framework in there that you can go ahead and fill out and actually put your webinars, like, it's literally step by step. Let me see if I can show you 1 second, and I'll just be back in 1 second. So I'm going to share the screen with you. So we've actually got webinar slides here. Okay. So you can see here, I've got some webinar here, webinar slides. So if you want, I'll give you all these slides. Now, they won't have my information in there. It'll be completely blanked out. So it'll be just like, uh, template it out, and it'll have like things like this here. So it'll say resolve other questions or false beliefs. So you can literally just fill in the blanks, and you'll make your own webinar if you want to do this here. So let me see. Hopefully you can see that. But really, you can see here, this is the webinar slides, and you literally just go here and just start to fill in the blanks with your own webinar message. Okay. And if you don't know what you want to make with your webinar, go back and watch the last inner circle where we were doing the offer creation workshop. That's where you'll be able to find out what your offer is going to be, and then really you just need to kind of fill in the blanks. Also, if you've got any questions as well, you can also send me an email. If you're getting any emails from me, just hit reply to the email. Ask me any question you like about training you on a webinar, or where would be the best place to learn how to actually make a webinar presentation and things like that there. But really, I want to give you these as a bonus if you want to go ahead and, let me see, get started with this new webinar tool. So I'm just going to share this again, and you can see down on the screen here, if you go to limitlessfuture.club/webinar tool, you'll be able to get the webinar software that does all this stuff for you, which I'm going to share with you here in a second. So basically, what you're going to get is, let's see, your own landing pages. So there'll be a landing page there already done. If you have your own landing pages, you can take a piece of code from this software and paste it onto your website, and then you can control your landing page so you can have whatever you want on it, whatever way you want it to look. The same as your thank you page. You're also going to get all the follow-ups that's already included in this software, which is limitlessfuture.club/webinar tool. You're going to be able to get your own hosting. So the video hosting, if you wanted to do an ever webinar, so this is like an evergreen one. So kind of like you do it once webinar, and then you can let it run for you, like around the clock. But really, you don't want to like leave it on automation until you hit them key numbers like 10% conversion rate and like a 50% show up rate. But you're going to get all the email follow up, include it in there, so you don't need the email software, but you can also get the email software there for free. You're also going to get, like I said, the webinar hosting and the webinar replays and replay room and all this here stuff. It's a really great software, especially because it's only one time pricing, and you can have control of the thank you page. So when people opt in, it's really, really cool like that. So this was basically the training for the inner circle this week. Like I said, also was going to share with you how you can get the Limitless Lifestyle Blueprint course for completely free. But remember, before we finish up here, that if you're going to be building a limitless lifestyle business, webinar is a great place to start. If you feel like you can do a webinar, even if you couldn't, there's no point really getting the software just yet then until you feel like you're ready to do a webinar or stuff like this here. But if you're someone who is online and you've been online and you're looking for a webinar software that isn't a monthly paying thing and it isn't expensive, go ahead and check out limitlessfuture.club/webinar tool. If you purchase the the software, I'm going to give you the bonuses of, possibly, if you purchase the webinar tool, I'm going to probably do maybe like a webinar training where we can get together, kind of like this here, and I'll show you the different ways that you can do a webinar. So like everybody does a webinar differently, but ultimately there's a certain strategy that you want to follow with a webinar. A lot of people don't do webinars correctly. So really, if you decide to purchase the webinar tool, I'm going to add in, an additional training that's going to give you the strategies on what to actually do on the webinar presentation, and I'm also going to give you the bonus templates as well, so you don't have to sit and look at a blank webinar template screen. And really, all you want to do here on the webinar, if I haven't explained this to you yet, is you're just going to do like a presentation, and you just do like a slide presentation, and you work through the slides and you teach people about your offer, and then eventually you make the offer to them somewhere along in the webinar, probably around the midpoint. somewhere around the midpoint. Let's see. You make your offer on the webinar, and then people, you know, have spent the last 2.5, 3 hours with you. By this stage, they kind of know you. If they've stuck along for that long, they're obviously interested in what you're teaching. And ultimately, by the time you get to the offer, people are ready and they want to know what it is you have to sell, which is really, really great. So like I says, if you want to go ahead and check out that webinar tool, which is going to give you your landing pages, it's going to give you the thank you pages, it's going to give you email follow-ups. You can collect the emails, and it's going to allow you to host a webinar evergreen, which is really cool. And you can do live webinars and things like that there. Go ahead and check out the link here, which is limitlessfuture.club/webinar tool. And like I says, when I see that you've purchased that there, you'll also get a confirmation email from uh, the shopping cart or whatever. They'll send you the bonuses. So they're going to send you the slides. So all the slides for like templated slides, they will send them to you. Also going to send you out the video. So I'll send you an email, additional email separate to the webinar uh, boot camp or webinar, training, where I'll give you the basic overall strategy of what you want to do when you're on the webinar. So this was it, my friend. I hope you enjoyed this edition of the Inner Circle. Webinars are really, really cool. And, like it says, when you get it to them kind of numbers, then you can keep it automated instead of improving it, keep improving it, keep trying to improve it, keep trying to improve it. Once you get it to that point, imagine what you could do with it. Would you go and spend a lot more money on ads to bring people to your profitable webinar that's going to generate you like, $500 sales, even $1,000 up to $1,900 sales, you know, all the way from, uh, a handful with only a handful of customers per month, my friend. So basically, we're just going to wrap this up. Um, like I said, if you're interested in getting the webinar software tool, go ahead and check it out at limitlessfuture.club/webinar tool. And you can check that out there. I'm going to give you the additional bonuses, which is the slides and a bonus training with the overall strategy. And we're going to wrap it up here for this week, my friend. So just to finish up, I'm going to let you know where you can get the free course. So if you're interested in getting the Limitless Lifestyle Blueprint course, this was the course I made a little while ago, and we were selling it for $97. So as a treat for sticking to the end of the Inner Circle, I always do this here as I give away free courses. So the free course I'm going to give you is the Limitless Lifestyle Blueprint course. If you want access to that free course, all you have to do is go to limitlessfuture.club/vault, VAULT, and then you'll be prompted to enter a password. The password is simply OFFER. Once you type in the password offer, the link will unlock for you and you will get access to the free course. Hope you enjoy it, my friend. I'd love to hear what you think about it. We had some great reviews and feedback from the course when we first launched it. And, hopefully, you can maybe get back to me, let me know some of the biggest ideas that you got out of it. But this was it, my friend. I hope you enjoyed the webinar. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. All the best. Bye bye.